Okay, so we're on the part about the dedication. So the first verse of the dedication is the standard verse, for dedicating merit. Due to this merit, may we soon attain the enlightened state of white Tara, that we may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. And so that is dedicating for it. That dedication corresponds with our initial motivation, because our initial motivation was to become a Buddha for the benefit of all beings and to lead them to Buddhahood. And so now we're dedicating the merit that we accumulated for the same purpose that we had as the motivation for doing the practice to start with. Okay? So the purpose of the dedication is to steer the merit that we've created. It's like, we can see, how intention is so powerful in our mind, and how we direct ourselves makes such a big influence. And so here, after accumulating merit, we want to make sure that we direct it to the way that we want it to ripen. Okay? Because otherwise the merit may ripen in another way, since it's positive karma that we created by doing the practice, hopefully, unless you spent the whole session hating somebody and planning how to retaliate. Otherwise, it probably created some merit in there. And so we want to dedicate it to the highest purpose, the enlightenment of ourselves and others. And by dedicating it to the highest purpose, then that merit can also ripen in all sorts of other intermediate favorable circumstances that will help us get to that highest goal. Okay? Like having a precious human life, and meeting qualified teachers, and having the opportunity to practice. Okay? But if we only dedicate for the lesser goals, may I have a good rebirth or something like that, then the karma will ripen in having that good rebirth. And then hopefully we'll use that to create more good karma. But the initial karma is finished with that good rebirth. Whereas if we dedicate it for enlightenment, that karma doesn't, its results don't exhaust until we and everybody attain enlightenment. And in the meantime, you get the good conditions before that. Okay, is that clear? Yeah? So that's really important to do. For dedicate for the long-term purpose. It's also good in our dedications to review some of the short-term purposes too, to remind ourselves of them, because that will also help, especially dedicating for next life, so that we have a precious human life with all the conditions to practice the Dharma, or so that we're born in a Pure Land. Because if we generate that kind of motivation and dedication a lot while we're alive, then at the time we die, there's a better chance that that will also come to our mind at that time. Okay? Which is important. The thought we have at the time of death is important, because it's going to make different karma ripen, and which will propel our mind into the next rebirth. Okay? Now, dedication and prayer are two different things. There's kind of an overlap. If it's a dedication, it's also a prayer, but if it's a prayer, it's not necessarily a dedication. Because with both a prayer and a dedication, you're directing your mind and the intention in a particular direction. But with dedication, you've accumulated some merit, and you're taking that merit and putting it in that direction. Whereas with a prayer, you haven't necessarily accumulated merit that you're directing towards that. Okay? So a dedication is going to be much more powerful, because you've spent your time creating some merit that, you're going to move in that direction.